Hello students, welcome back to my session. I'm Mala, biology faculty. Today I'm going to discuss chapter 8, Cell the Unit of Life. Okay, it is a grade 11 portions on NCERT biology. Today I'm going to discuss this chapter. And before moving to the topic, let's have a learning objectives of today's session. Okay, firstly, I will be discussing about the introduction. What is a cell? Why cell is very essential for living organism, and we'll be discussing about the history of the cell, who discovered the cell, and in which year they have discovered the cell. And then we'll be discussing the cell theory. What are the cell postulates who have given the cell theory and in which year? And then we'll be discussing lastly about the type of cell, that is prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. These are the key points where I'm going to cover in today's session. Let's quickly move on to the topic. Now, first we'll begin with the introduction part. Okay, before moving to the topic, we all know that all organisms are composed of cell, right? Cell is very essential, and it is a fundamental and structural and functional unit of all living organism, and no living organism can live or life without being a cellular. Okay, so cell is very important, and all organisms composed of cell. And some organisms have a single cell. Single means only one cell. Such type of organism, we call it as unicellular organism. Okay, what we call it as? We call that as unicellular organism. And then they perform all the essential functions of life with single cell. Okay, only one cell is present in unicellular organism. All the functions like digestion, respiration, excretion, transportation, everything will be carried out by the single cell. And next, the sum of other organism composed of many cells. Okay, they have made up of many cells. So such organism we call it as multicellular organisms. So here the communities of cells will be there, right? Because it is a group of cells, many cells. So community of cells will be there where they perform the essential function, and they have a division of work, and all the cell will not perform the same function. Okay, like if you see the blood cell, the function is to carry the oxygen from one part to the different part of our body. And if you take the nerve cell, it receives the impulse and carries to the brain, and again it comes back to the target organ, right? Like that, we have different cells in our body where diverse of work will be there, and it will be carried out by the community of cells in the multicellular organism, but not in the case of unicellular, because they consisting of a single cell, which all the functions will be carried out with a single cell itself. Let's see the examples of multicellular organisms, the community of cells, that is brain cell, kidney cell, red blood cells, that is RBC, white blood cells, that is WBC, and mesophyll cells. All these are the examples of multicellular or community of cells which are present in the multicellular organism, which performs the different functions. Next, we'll move on to the diagrammatic representation here. And this diagram represents the eukaryotic cell, and this diagram represents the prokaryotic cell. If you see the eukaryotic cell, this diagram depicts the plant cell diagram. So you can see the large vacuole will be the cell wall, cell membrane, mitochondria, nucleus, cytoplasm, jelly-like substance which is there in the cell is called cytoplasm, and chloroplast, which is seen only in the plant cell, okay, which help in photosynthesis. And vacuole, you can see here, okay, large vacuole and the small vacuole will be there in the eukaryotic cell. And if you see the example of bacteria is the best example for the prokaryotic cell, where this nucleus is not well or advancedly developed. Okay, so coccus, diplococcus, streptococcus, spirillum, bacillus, vibrio, all these are the different varieties of bacteria. Okay, it is the best example for prokaryotic cell. Let's study in detail. Okay, now we'll move on to the discovery of the cell. In 1665, okay, in 1665, Robert Hooke discovered the cell, and he gave the term as cellulo or cell. Next, we'll study that later in 1674, Anton von Leeuwenhoek observed the living cell. It is very important to note that Leeuwenhoek observed the living cell for the first time. In the exam, if they give the option as Robert Hooke and Leeuwenhoek, don't get confused. Cell discovery is by Robert Hooke, but first observed living cell is by Leeuwenhoek. That is in the year 1674. And next in 1831, Robert Brown discovered the nucleus which is present in the cell. The invention of magnifying lenses led to the discovery of the microscopic world. So here the magnifying lenses, microscope, all these are very essential to learn about the microorganisms and which lead to the invention to study the microscopic world. And next we'll move on to the cell theory. Cell theory will be studying the concept that the cell is the basic unit of structure and of all living organisms. Okay, it was given in the cell theory. Okay, so the cell theory was proposed by the botanist and zoologist. Okay, botanist the name called Matthias Schleden in the year 1838 and the zoologist Theodor Schwann in 1839 proposed the cell theory. According to this theory, the cells are the smallest living entities forming the basic units of life or basic unit for the organisms. And all organisms are made up of cells and they have their own components. Next, later the hypothesis was modified by Rudolf Virchow in 1855. According to him, he stated that all the cells arise from the pre-existing cells. And cell theory mostly holds good for many plants and animals with some exceptions like viruses and certain fungi. Okay, viruses and certain fungi will not hold good this cell theory. They will not follow this postulate of the cell theory. Okay, it holds good only for many plants and animals. Next, we'll be studying the type of cells. There are two types of cells, okay, based on the structural organization, how they have organized, okay. Based on the organization, there are two types. First one is prokaryotic cell. Second, they are extremely small and usually 1 to 10 micrometer in diameter, okay. So this is what the size of the prokaryotic cell, and they are very, very, very small. And no distinct nucleus, okay, no distinct nucleus which is present in the prokaryotic cell. And circular DNA will be present without any membrane. Here membrane will not be present. Only the circular DNA is present and without the membrane. And they possess a ribosome which is of 70S type of ribosome which is present. Okay, now examples of prokaryotic cell are bacterial cell, cyanobacteria cell. Okay, next we'll move on to the eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell are larger in size. Okay, and they have a distinct nucleus. Distinct nucleus will be present with nuclear membrane, nuclear pore, nucleus, nucleoid, okay, chromosomes. All this well-developed nucleus will be there in the eukaryotic cell. And they have a membrane bound organelles. Okay, membrane will be present. Okay, and some organelles are single bound organelles and some are double bound organelles. Means the single membrane bound organelles means they have made up of only one membrane, and double membranous organelles means they are made up of two membrane. One is internal membrane and outer membrane. Okay, we'll be studying the detail in the cell organelles part, which are the membrane bound organelles and non-membrane bound organelles. And cilia and flagella have microtubules. Okay, they are consisting of microtubules. And in the prokaryotic cell, it is 70S type of ribosome. But in the case of eukaryotic, it is 80S type of ribosomes. Example of eukaryotic cell are protozoan, sponges, plants, animals. If you see in this organism, the nucleus will be very, very well developed when compared to the prokaryotic cell. That's all for today, and we'll discuss in detail about the prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, cell organelles, what is the role of that and function. We'll be studying in the next part of our sessions. Thank you all. Bye until then. Take care.